Certainly. Here's part 1 of Forgotten and Exiled. Humans forged a hidden galactic empire, written in simple, basic English, third-person style, around 800 words, and engaging without any violated content. Part 1. The Banishment. Long ago, humans were not like they are now. They were young, curious, and full of hope. They explored space faster than anyone expected. Their ships moved quickly between stars. Their minds learned new science every day. People of many alien races watched humans grow with a mix of fear and wonder, but not everyone welcomed this growth. The galaxy was ruled by a council made of many alien species. This council had kept peace for hundreds of years. They had rules to follow. They shared power among themselves. But humans were new. To the galaxy's big stage, they did not want to follow old rules. They wanted more. They wanted to be the strongest. This scared the council. Some council members said humans were dangerous. Others said humans would bring war. The council called a meeting. They talked for many days. Finally, they made a harsh decision. Humans must be exiled. Exiled meant humans were forced to leave the known galaxy. They were sent far away, beyond all stars and planets anyone knew. This place was called the Dead Sectors, a cold, dark space where nothing lived, or so they thought. The humans were shocked. They did not expect such punishment. Many ships were destroyed in the war before exile. The survivors were taken by force. Their leaders told them to never return. The council hoped this would end human threat forever. In the silence of space, humans drifted toward the dead sectors. It was dark and empty. Many feared it was a death sentence. Some lost hope. But humans were not ready to give up. Among the exiled, humans was a young captain named Ilara Voss. She remembered the old Earth stories, tales of survival, courage, and hope. She believed humanity was strong, stronger than any alien race. She told her people, "We may be forgotten, but we will not be broken." Ilara led the survivors to find shelter. They found small asteroids and hidden places between faint stars. They used every scrap of technology they had. They made homes from old ship parts and mined small resources nearby. It was hard. Food was scarce. Water was harder. But humans helped each other. Over time, the humans learned to live in the dark, without the council's watchful eyes. Humans changed. They studied the stars from their hidden homes. They built new ships, faster and smarter than before. They trained their young to be brave and wise. They remembered their exile as a lesson, not a punishment. Meanwhile, in the known galaxy, the council forgot the exiled humans. They thought the story was over, but deep in the dead sectors, a new chapter was starting. Ilara stood on the bridge of her ship, looking at the starless sky. She knew the journey ahead was dangerous. The council wanted them gone, but humans had a new dream to create a new home, new empire, one hidden from those who wanted to destroy them. Her voice was calm, but strong. When she spoke to her crew, "We are more than survivors. We are the future." Her crew, tired but determined, nodded. They believed in her. And so, in the cold darkness, humans began their slow but steady rise. On one of the hidden planets in the dead sectors, a young boy named Kai sat beside a small fire. His grandmother told him stories about the old Earth, about the stars that once shone bright and the wars humans fought. Kai asked, "Will we ever go back?" His grandmother smiled softly and said, "One day, Kai, one day we will shine." Again, Kai looked up at the black sky. It was empty now. But inside him, a small light grew, a light of hope, back in the council halls. Many laughed at the idea that humans could return. "They are weak," one said. "They cannot survive." But a few were not so sure. Ambassador Zelthar, a wise elder from the species called Lorvins, had seen the quiet strength of humans. He remembered how they never gave up, even when all was lost. He warned the council, "Underestimate them at your own risk." But his words fell on deaf ears. As decades turned to centuries, the exiled humans built a secret empire they called it Aegis Sector, a place hidden in dark nebula clouds, shielded from any alien eyes. They built cities beneath the surface of moons. Their ships flew silently through empty space. Their scientists discovered ways to heal, to improve, and to protect. Their history was one of pain, but also of strength. Every human knew the story, forgotten by others, but united in purpose, and from the shadows. If the humans prepared, they would return, not with anger, but with the power to change the galaxy forever. Would you like me to continue with part 2 next? Certainly. Here's part 2 of your HFY Sci-Fi story. Forgotten and Exiled. Humans forged a hidden galactic empire, written in third-person style. Simple basic English, 800 words. And free from any violated content. Part 2. The Iron Roots. Many years passed after humans were exiled. At first, they were scattered. Small groups lived in damaged ships, old stations, and caves on lifeless moons. There were no bright stars to guide them. The sky was cold and silent. But the humans did not stop. They worked together, shared food, repaired old machines, and helped each other survive. Their pain made them strong. They remembered how the galaxy had cast them out. That memory gave them purpose. In the center of the dead sectors, a small planet was found. It had no sunlight, no green trees, no animals. But it had metal deep underground and energy from its core. They called it Solara. Captain Alara Voss.
Oh.
Now older and wiser, chose this place to be the heart of a new home. We will build here, she said. In the darkness, we will rise. So they began. The first buildings were simple. Metal shelters, oxygen farms, power stations. Slowly, the planet changed. Tunnels were dug deep below the surface. Great machines lit up the caverns. People wore suits to breathe, but soon they built domes with air and light. Schools were opened, were taught not only to read and write, but also the history of Earth and the truth of their exile. The people worked hard. They built robots to help. They grew food under glowing lights. They created new energy from heat below the ground. They studied old human knowledge and made new inventions. No one lived for riches. They lived for each other. They had no kings, no council, no greed. They had leaders who earned respect, not power. Ilara became the first grand builder of Solara, but she never ruled. She guided. Her words were full of wisdom. We do not seek war, but we must never forget. The humans named their growing empire Aegis, which meant shield. It was hidden, strong, and quiet. Outside Solara, more colonies were built. Silent ships moved from moon to moon, planet to planet, always hiding. Behind nebula clouds and empty rocks, no one in the galaxy saw them. No signal left the dead sectors. The humans used old Earth satellites and made them work again. They built stealth fields that made their cities invisible. They also built fleets. Their warships were shaped like shadows. With no light, no sound, they moved fast and vanished quickly. Every pilot trained for years. Every crew member learned to think, react, and protect. But their ships did not attack, not yet. They waited back on Solara. A new capital was built deep under the surface. It was named Solara Prime. It had towers made from dark steel and glowing crystal. It had a library that held all of Earth's old knowledge. From science to art to ancient languages, one room in the city held a large wall. On it were carved the names of the ships and people who were lost during exile. Every year, all humans came together and remembered them. They called it the Day of Silence. As time passed, generations changed. New leaders rose. One of them was Kale Draven, a skilled pilot and brilliant engineer. He believed the time was near to prepare for the future. He spoke to the people. We cannot hide forever. We must learn what has become of the galaxy. We must see if they still hate us sore, if they have forgotten us. A secret group was formed, the Observers. They used tiny drones, quiet probes, and advanced sensors. Slowly, they reached into the edges of known space. What they found surprised them. The galaxy was still ruled by the old council. The alien powers had grown lazy. Their technology had barely changed. Their ships were large, but slow. Their leaders were proud, but blind. Many star systems had fallen into trouble. Pirates attacked trade routes. Small planets were forgotten by the Council. Poor species suffered, while the rich grew fatter. Peace was breaking, but no one did anything. The observers watched everything and reported back to Aegis Kale-Draven. Stood before the people and said, "The galaxy turned its back on us. Now it turns its back on itself. But we stand together, strong, quiet, ready." The people of Solara listened. They did not cheer for war. They did not hunger for revenge. But they knew the truth. One day, the stars would call again, and when they did, humanity would be ready. At the edge of the dead sectors, a quiet ship moved through empty space. Inside, a young woman looked out at the stars. Her name was Lyra Voss, the great-granddaughter of Alara. She wore a black suit with the symbol of Aegis on her chest. She whispered, "They forgot us, but we never forgot them." Then she smiled. Because the stars were no longer dark. They were beginning to shine again. Would you like me to continue with part 3 next? Of course, here's part 3 of your HFY Sci-Fi story. Forgotten and exiled, humans forged a hidden galactic empire, written in third-person style. Simple basic English, 800 words, and free from any violated content. Part 3. The spark returns many. Years passed, and the hidden human empire, Aegis, grew stronger in silence. In the dark corners of the galaxy, humans built more ships, more cities, and more knowledge. Their empire was deep underground or hidden behind nebula clouds. No alien race saw them. No one knew they had survived. But now, the time of waiting was ending. The observers humans trained to watch and gather news from the galaxy returned with strange reports. Alien trade ships had gone missing near the edge of the dead sectors. Pirate fleets vanished without leaving a trace. Even some council scouts disappeared. Something was happening in Solara Prime. The capital of Aegis, the leaders met in a great chamber carved inside the planet. Kale-Draven, now the High Overseer, stood in front of them. His voice was calm but firm. "The galaxy is waking up," he said. "They are reaching our borders. Some do not even know we exist. Others might guess. We must decide what we do next." The Council of Leaders listened in silence. A young officer named Lyra Voss, now a commander, stepped forward. "We must not wait for them to come to us. We must go to them quietly. We must learn their strength, their weakness, their fears." The room agreed, and so a secret mission began. A small fleet of black ships, silent and invisible, moved out of Aegis space. These were the Shadow Wings, the most advanced scouts ever made by humans. Their engines left no trail. Their signals were hidden. Their pilots were trained to disappear like ghosts. Commander Lyra Voss led them. She flew through old star routes, past dead stations and forgotten ruins. She saw broken satellites from old wars and space junk floating like bones in the sky. But soon she saw something else. A massive alien mining ship, shaped like a long claw, floating near an asteroid field. It was damaged. Its lights were off. No response came from it. Lyra ordered a quiet scan. Inside, she saw something strange. No crew, no power, no signs of life, just silence. "We are not alone here," she whispered. Suddenly a light blinked. On her screen, another ship was nearby. An alien vessel, smaller, fast, and scanning the area. Its markings showed it belonged to the Crowleen, one of the most powerful species in the Galactic Council. The Crowleen scout ship was led by Admiral Vithon, a seasoned warrior known for hunting pirates. He was proud, but careful. When his ship found no signal from the mining ship, he sent a drone to explore, but the drone never returned. Then his ship's sensors picked up strange shadows around the asteroids. Not pirates. Something else. Something quiet. Then, in a flash, the shadows moved. Black ships, fast and sharp, darted around the asteroids like hunters. One of them passed close to the Crowleen vessel and scanned it, but didn't attack. Admiral Vithon stared in shock. "What are they?" his second officer said. "Unknown design. But the shape. It's human. Vithon froze. That's not possible. But it was. Back in Aegis, Lyra returned with recordings from the mission. She showed them in the council hall. The people of Solara watched in silence as the image of the Crowleen ship flashed on the wall. Kale Draven stood slowly. They know something now. Not much, but enough to be afraid. Lyra nodded. They saw us, but they don't understand us yet. A new decision was made. It was time to send a message. All across Aegis, engineers and builders worked day and night. The humans built a powerful signal tower hidden in deep space. It had only one job, to send a clear message to the whole galaxy. When it was ready, the humans turned it on. A calm voice spoke in every known language. It was the voice of a woman, strong but gentle. We are the forgotten. You exiled us. You erased our names from your history, but we did not die. We built, we survived, and we learned. Now we return. Not with hate, but with strength. We offer peace to those who believe in justice, and warning to those who do not. We are the children of Earth. We are Aegis, and we are awake. Signal. Ended, then silence. Across the galaxy, the message shook everyone. Some feared it. Some laughed. Others didn't believe it, but Admiral Vithon didn't laugh. He stood before the Galactic Council and said, I saw them. They are real. They are stronger than before. And they are not afraid, the council members argued. Some said to prepare for war, others said to talk, but deep inside, they all knew the truth. Humanity had returned, and nothing would be the same again. Would you like me to continue with Part 4 next? Of course, here's Part 4 of your HFY Sci-Fi story. Forgotten and exiled, humans forged a hidden galactic empire, written in third-person style. Simple basic English, 800 words, and free from any violated content. Part 4. Shadows of Steels, the message from Aegis spread like fire across the galaxy. Every world, every species, every council hall heard it. Some called it a lie, some said it was a trick. But those who had seen the dark ships with their own eyes, they knew humans had returned. In the Galactic Council, panic filled the room. Voices argued, leaders shouted, and fear danced in every word. The Crowleen Admiral Vithon stood calmly and said, I told you. I saw them with my own eyes. We thought they were gone. They were growing in the shadows. Few council members still did not believe him. Humans were exiled long ago. They cannot be this strong. But others were not so sure. Reports came from the border world's pirate fleets disappearing, unknown ships moving near trade routes, and strange signals from deep space. The council ordered more patrols. They sent spy probes and warships. Still, no answers came. The humans did not attack. They watched, they waited, they planned. On Solara Prime, the capital of the Aegis Empire, leaders met in silence. The people of Solara stood tall. They were not afraid. They had prepared for this moment for generations. High Overseer Kale Draven looked out over the city from his tower. The glowing lights of the hidden empire stretched below him. Ships moved quietly in the sky. Factories worked day and night. Engineers built new designs, stronger, faster, smarter. He turned to Commander Lyra Voss, who now led the Shadow Wings. Our message is clear, he said. But what comes next must be stronger. Lyra nodded. Then it is time to show them what we have become. The first step was simple, but powerful. A silent human fleet arrived near a small planet where trade. Ships were often attacked. Pirates had ruled this system for years. The council never helped. The people there lived in fear. Within one night, the pirate fleet vanished. No wreckage, no escape, no sound. The next day, a message was sent to the people of that planet. You are safe now. Aegis watches over you. Aegis ships left just as silently as they came. The people cheered. News spread quickly in other parts of the galaxy. Poor and forgotten species began to whisper. The humans protect those left behind. But not everyone was happy. In the council, angry voices demanded action. We must crush this hidden empire before it grows. Admiral Vithon shook his head. You still do not understand. You cannot crush what you cannot see. Their ships are shadows. Their minds are sharper than ever. If we push too hard, we may break ourselves instead. A plan was made to send a message to Aegis. One ship, carrying peace diplomats, would enter the dead sectors. It would offer talks. The council hoped to learn more, or delay what might be coming. The ship entered the dead sectors slowly. It was old, but well-armed. Inside were 5 diplomats from 5 major species. They were nervous, but curious. After hours of quiet travel, they saw them. Dozens of human ships surrounded them like silent birds in the dark. Sleek, black, without lights. No weapons aimed, no threat shown. Then a voice came through their radio. Welcome to the edge of Aegis. Do not fear, we will guide you. A human escort ship appeared and led them toward a hidden moon. There, deep underground, they entered a grand hall made of crystal and steel. Walls glowed with soft light. The air was clean. Everything felt peaceful yet powerful. They were met by the voice of Solara, a tall woman in silver robes. She did not wear weapons. Her face was calm. We welcome those who come with open minds, she said, but we will not bow, not again. The talks began. Back in the known galaxy, confusion spread. Some planets sent secret messages to Aegis, asking for help. Others tried to hide from the changes. A few brave leaders broke away from the council, saying they would follow the humans, if it meant peace and protection. The council began to break from within. Kael Draven stood in the Hall of Flame on Solara. He looked at the stars above and said, to his people, we were cast out like shadows. But now we stand as a shield. Aegis does not seek war. But if war comes, we will not fall. One by one, the old powers trembled. They realized the truth. The humans did not return to destroy. They returned to lead, not with pride, but with purpose. And from the darkness of exile, they had forged something stronger than steel unity. Would you like me to continue with Part 5, final part next? Here's Part 5, the final part of your HFY Sci-Fi story. Forgotten and Exiled. Humans forged a hidden galactic empire, written in third-person style, simple basic English, around 800 words, and free of any violated content. Part 5, the Empire. That rose in silence, the galaxy was no longer the same. Whispers of the hidden human empire, Aegis, spread from system to system like a slow-burning fire. Some worlds welcomed the humans. They were tired of old wars, tired of neglect from the Galactic Council. They wanted peace, protection, and hope. Others feared what they did not understand. They remembered the ancient wars, the exile, and the message that came from the darkness. Humans want power, they said. They want to rule. But the humans showed a different face. On Solara Prime, the capital of Aegis, High Overseer Kael Draven stood before a vast crowd gathered beneath the glowing domes. Thousands of humans and allied species listened to his voice echo through the city. We were forgotten and exiled. We were cast out like dust in the void, Kael said. But from that exile, we built something new. We forged a shield to protect not only ourselves, but those who have no protector. He looked into the eyes of those who had suffered under the old council's rule. We do not seek to conquer. We seek to unite. The crowd cheered. The council, once proud and strong, now faced the reality of the rising human empire. Their fleets were large but slow. Their politics were weak and divided. The humans, once weak and scattered, had become a force of quiet strength and sharp minds. Admiral Vithon, once a voice of fear, now became a voice of change. He stood in the Galactic Council chamber and spoke with honesty. The humans taught us a lesson. Strength is not only about weapons or size. It is about unity, purpose, and heart. Slowly, some council members began to change. They offered peace talks. They asked for alliances. The galaxy was waking from its old dreams. Back in the Aegis Empire, Commander Lyra Voss prepared for a new mission.
Ow.
This time, it was not about spying or fighting. It was about diplomacy and trust. She led a fleet to a distant star system, where a small but proud species called the Kellori lived. The Kellori had suffered from pirate attacks and neglect. When Lyra's ships arrived, the Kellori welcomed them. With hope, the humans offered technology, medicine, and protection. They taught the Kellori how to defend themselves and build their world. For the first time, many in the galaxy saw the humans not as exiles or threats, but as friends and leaders. The humans did not stop there. They shared knowledge with many species, medicine, and ideas about freedom and cooperation. They helped rebuild planets broken by war. They created schools and hospitals. Their ships became symbols of hope. But humans never forgot the past. Every year on the Day of Silence, they remembered those lost in exile. They honored the pain that shaped them. They promised to keep moving forward, strong, united, and kind. Yet, some challenges remained. Not all species trusted the humans. Some feared their growing power. Some wanted to fight to keep the old order in the shadows. Some rebels and pirates worked to stop the new peace, but the humans were ready, their spies, their fleets, and their hearts were prepared for any storm. 1. Night, under the stars of Solara Prime. Kale, Draven, and Lyra Voss met on a balcony. Kale said, "We have come far, but our journey is not over." Lyra smiled. "The galaxy will remember us not as forgotten exiles, but as the empire that rose." In silence, Kale nodded. "We do not rule by fear. We lead by hope." They looked out at the stars bright now, full of life and promise. The galaxy was changing. A new age had begun. The age of the second starborn and humanity. Once forgotten and exiled, stood at its heart. The end. Would you like me to help with anything else? Maybe a summary, character profiles, or even some artwork ideas?